This is Toby from Heavyweight MMA to go again with MMA fighter Colby Thicknesse, talking about a big matchup that's coming up in boxing. Big Mike Tyson versus Logan Paul. Man, if you look at the picture behind me, you see a prime Mike Tyson. You know, I wish that it was a prime Mike Tyson that was fighting Logan Paul this time.
I think if it was a prime Mike Tyson, there'd be some sort of manslaughter going on in the ring. I think Logan Paul is very lucky that it's a 55-year-old retired Mike Tyson who likes mushroom and weed and is a very chill dude now compared to like a prime Mike Tyson.
That's what I'm thinking too, man. Like this guy now is just every day smashing marijuana cones, everything else. Like you said, mushrooms, DMT, whatever. He's just like doing all these things. He's been pretty sedentary for the last like probably decade or so, not doing anything. And then he's just decided recently to get back into shape because for a long time he wasn't training at all. He was saying he didn't want to train. He didn't want to bring that animal back out in himself. He didn't like that person that he was. And then now recently he got up and had the fight with Roy Jones Jr. But even then he said that he didn't train hard for that. You know, he was looking in shape, etc. He just said he wasn't fit. So it's kind of interesting, right? 55-year-old man fighting a 26-year-old when he probably isn't really going to be in shape.
Yeah, definitely. I just have to come out and say, like, I'm almost certain this is just going to be like a money grab sort of thing. Like, there's footage of Tyson talking about the Paul brothers, how he's like he's fans of them and stuff like that. I don't think if people are buying this to think Tyson's going to go in and try and kill him, I think they've got the wrong idea of how this fight's going to play out. Like, I know Tyson's obviously a lot bigger, a lot sort of more style built for that sort of thing, but I just don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think Tyson sort of has that dog in him anymore to actually go out there and try and sort of kill Logan Paul.
Yeah, man. I watched like a few people's opinions on this fight, and like all the boxers are saying, you know, of course it's like a stupid question. You know, Mike Tyson is the winner. Like clearly everyone's saying that. And, you know, when you think of Tyson, you think of him knocking out the best in the world, you know, being the most ferocious fighter ever, the baddest man on the planet in his prime. And I'd like to kind of remember him that way. You know, I hate the idea of seeing him fight in this kind of exhibition bout against a bum, man. Like, to be honest, Logan Paul is a bum. You watch him fight. He's just got nothing. He's got nothing to offer. If this was a prime Mike Tyson and the current Logan Paul, let's say they're fighting at 26 years old, it's not even going to last like 10 seconds. It's like a joke of a fight.
Sanctions. They wouldn't allow it.
Exactly. And then now we've got, because he's an old man, I kind of don't want to remember him because like this, you know, like you look at Roy Jones Jr. in his last fight, man, I was heartbroken, to be honest. Like, I was a big Roy Jones Jr. fan when I'm young, watching him fight. And then you see him come out and he's just, of course, he's got some of the moves and whatever, but just not even close to the man he was because he relied a lot on speed and timing and everything. Tyson at least relies more on power, but he still relies on, you know, a bit of speed with his defense and his head movement and everything. And those things are going to be slower, a lot slower when you're 55, man.
Exactly right. I might as well just plug the other episode we did talking about the freak show boxing fights. But that's exactly right. Like, you want to see legends retire and finish and ride off onto the sunset and be like, look at their career and you can just leave it alone, let it be, and just sort of remember it for what it is. But then you have guys coming back way past their prime, doing things that sort of almost destroys their reputation. Their legacy's set and built, and then doing these freak show things. Like, a perfect example is like Floyd Mayweather, like when he fought Logan Paul, like even though it was just for exposition and stuff like that, he lost a lot of respect from people purely because he didn't get him out of there. Then you look at like Roy Jones coming back against Tyson's, who was the other one who just fought Vitor Belfort and just got knocked out. Holyfield, exactly right. These legends had a great career. I don't know if it's financial struggles, they need to get the money, or if they think, okay, I feel good, I can come back and do it. But I really think, like I always said in this other one, I don't think this fight should be in sanctions. Like, I don't think they're sort of the smartest ideas. Like, fair play, people are going to buy them, it's going to make them some money. But like you said, I'd rather people have their legends have their legacies intact.
Man, like, yeah, Holyfield again, another one that broke my heart, man. Like, he just looks so slow. Another one I used to watch like nonstop. I had a videotape of Holyfield, used to watch nonstop, like all these highlights of his fights, and just his style was like perfection, man. And then to see him like that, I just hate that. I hate to have that memory that's just taken away from what they were in their prime. Now,
Exactly.
how do you think this fight's going to actually go, man? I'm kind of interested in your take on what do you think
Is
we'll
it
see?
has the rule set been announced? Or what is it? Probably like 8 threes as an exposition, I think.
I don't know if Tyson want to go 8 rounds. He might be going for
Yeah,
2 threes or something. I don't know.
yeah, I have no idea.
I reckon they
To
go
be
for, yeah,
honest,
let's
I
say
think
8.
it's gonna,
Let's
yeah, we'll say
assume it's
that. I
that.
think it's gonna play out as Tyson is just gonna sort of pull with him. Logan Paul is just gonna sort of try and stay behind his jab, do that Mayweather approach, and just lean on him. I, I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping this comebacks and I look stupid, but I don't think we're gonna see a finish. I don't think we're gonna see too many power shots. I think if Logan comes out and just sort of touches and like shows respect to Tyson and doesn't try and take his head off straight away, it's just going to be an exhibition sparring match between them two. If on the off chance Logan comes out and does try and take Tyson's head off, hopefully Tyson responds and just knocks him out. But then again, we are talking about like obviously a 26-year-old in like almost his physical prime, probably on all the steroids possible, training hard. He's going to be in good shape for this one. And then you have like a retired, unmotivated, no offense, Mike Tyson, who's just happy to sort of like take shrooms. He's probably going to be high for this fight as well. So like, who knows? He might just be happy to just bob and weave and just throw some shots. Like at the end of the day, it's hard to tell if these fights that's going to play out, but I don't think anything spectacular is going to happen.
Bro, I don't know if you're forgetting who this fucking guy is, man. Mike Tyson's a fucking psychopath, bro. He's fucking out there, bro. So I reckon 90% chance from my thinking is he's going to
Yeah.
fight him. He's going to fight him. He's going to throw hard shots. And I always say that's in the first round. Unless they have an agreement based on cash, I think he's too crazy, man, to really. I haven't met him, but I was doing security for him over here. I was near him. He's got this weird aura, man. Like he's out there, man. And then another part, he was in this show over here, and I was doing security again. He was up on the stage, and there was this guy, this comedian guy. The comedian guy like makes a bit of a joke, like, and Tyson's like, it's a live like event, and Tyson's calling him a dickhead and looking aggressive. I'm looking at my mate going, "Are we gonna have to fucking restrain Mike Tyson in a minute? It's gonna be fucked, you know." I don't know. He's out there, man. I think he, look at him. He's biting ears off. He's fucking telling people he's going to eat their children in the past. I think he's still got fire in him, man. I wouldn't put it past him to try and take him out, and that would probably be in the initial part of the fight, I'd imagine.
Yeah. I'm hoping I'm saying this and it's going to come back and bite me on the ass saying this. But after all the like ones I've watched so far, like I don't know. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I have a feeling that it's probably going to be more like a sparring match exposition. However, like you said, Tyson is crazy. He might be like, fuck this young bloke. I'm going to, who knows, might quit the weed and everything and just go hard for 6 weeks, comes out and just takes his head off with a big overhand right or a looping left hook, and I'll be cheering. But I think personally, it's just going to be more of an exhibition sparring match.
I fucking hope not. But the funny thing is, Logan Paul, man, one fight for 0 wins. That's his record. He's fighting a guy that had 58 fights, 50 wins with 44 knockouts, man. That means of every fight he's had, there's a 76% chance that he's fucking the other guy up with a knockout. It's just amazing. Like, so he fights 4 people, 4 professional boxers at the best level, or pretty much early on in his career, maybe not, but overall. And out of those 4, he's going to knock 3 of them out. He's probably going to beat all 4, but he's going to knock 3 of them out. It's just fucking crazy, man. Crazy stats.
Yeah, definitely. So also, I hope this fight actually goes through, because even though there's a lot of talk, and what is it set? Is it set for February? I think they're saying.
Yeah.
February. I hope it does go through. And honestly, like I'm hoping I'm completely wrong. I hope Tyson comes out, vintage Tyson, a bit slower, and first round starches him out cold. I think that's going to be like, it'll be great. Everyone wants to see it. However, I don't think it's going to play out like that, but let's hope I'm wrong.
My first instance was, fuck, Tyson's 55. How's he going to fight a young buck? But I went back and looked at Logan Paul's fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr., and he just looked looked terrible, man. Like, it just looked like shit, hands down. He really just ranked amateur, man. Like, it just looked so bad. I'm thinking, and then I went back and looked at Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. and he still like had some nice body shots, some nice movement, some nice hooks, and he obviously still had a bit of power. He's punching a guy that's an experienced boxer, although they're both very old. I think he could probably knock out Logan Paul if he wanted to, if he got in a bit tighter, which Logan Paul likes to hold. So this is kind of dangerous for him when he's with Mike Tyson. When he's with a little dude that's like 20 pounds lighter or more, I think it's all right for him to hug him. But if he tries to do that to Tyson, Tyson's got the strength to just gain that little bit of distance, and he likes those in tight uppercuts and hooks. So there's a chance the body shot could just cut him in half and he falls over dead, or he could decapitate him like Francis Ngannou did before to, what's his name? Uppercut. Yeah, to Overeem. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see a big uppercut. Boom. Logan Paul's head breaks off and falls onto the ground. That's what I'd like to see.
Tyson, just vintage Tyson, just hands up, peekaboos, slips a 1, 2, 3, and just uppercut, hooks him, and just sleeps him.
That's what I really like to see, man.
That would be the best. Unreal.
And that'd be a nice finish to his career, even if, because he can probably maintain that speed and movement for like maybe half one round, I would say. And after that, I don't think he's really going to be himself.
Yeah, exactly right. So I think once the rule sets and like the glove sizes and everything comes out, I think we'll have a better picture. And also once you see like closer to a date where you can see Tyson's, how's he preparing, and if he talks about it, if he does have that sort of killer instinct, because right now I'm taking it as Tyson coming off the couch, doing his podcast, smoking weed and just doing damn team, just chilling out like that. So I think, but if he flicks, like we all know, he can flick that switch. If he flicks that switch, Logan Paul is going to get fucked up. And that's what I'm hoping for. But is it going to happen? I don't know. I guess I have to wait and find out.
And I think when I'm talking about Logan Paul, I think the only thing he can do is use a flick out a jab, because he's got about a 13 centimeter reach advantage. Flick out a jab and fucking run for your life. I think that's all he's got. I don't even think he can clinch, because I just don't think he's got the skills to clinch with someone that's heavier than him and much more experienced than him, unless they're small. So I think he's fucked. He's just going to have to jab and run, or hope to God that it is an exhibition match and they both really agree on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to, if Logan's game plan is going to be straight punches, hands tidy, getting clinched, try and lean and keep the elbows, keep everything showed up, and just trying to cop a big punch from Mike. If it's going to be that sort of more official sort of fight, it's the exposition. I hope they say it's an exposition. Tyson comes out for 3 rounds, goes real nice, then the 4th round he just comes out and just flicks the switch and just KOs him. Like, plays with him for a couple of rounds, gives him a bit of a feel, and then just turns it on and just boom. But who knows?
Yeah, bro. All right. Anyway, looking forward to it. Hoping that some vintage Mike Tyson comes out for 30 seconds and does another KO for the highlight reel.
Or an ear bite. That'd be good too.
Is that bite his ear off? Why not? Add it to the collection.
Get another one.
All right, man. Take it easy.
You too, bro.